The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf.
We've commenced our regional 3D seismic reprocessing project just a couple weeks ago with Doug down under geophysical work, who's an industry known expert in seismic reprocessing products. So we got that going. We'll probably have some interim products come out in the next couple of months.
Welcome back inside our Proactive newsroom. And joining me now is Brian Reinsborough. He is the CEO of Reconnaissance Energy Africa, or ReconAfrica. And Brian, it's great to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing fine, thank you. Thanks for having me on your show once again.
Yeah, good to have you along. Good, because you provided an update to the markets about what's going on at a number of different sites. Obviously, you're extremely busy right now. And so I thought we'd sort of split them up. And let's talk first about Kavango West, because I know there's a lot of work going on in that particular area.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, tremendous progress in Namibia, particularly on the Kavango West well. We spent the spring really getting our procurement set up and all aspects of that in line. We're in good shape. The teams are on location right now. We're restaffing the rig. Our production liner, which we procured from North America, has arrived in Namibia and it's on site. In fact, I think they're setting that production liner today. So a lot of moving parts, a lot of momentum in this thing. Of course, there's a lot of eyes on this production test because of the scale of what we're testing. So we're in a good spot. Our technical teams continue to analyze the post work from the Kavango well. We've increased our pay count and the shallower objective, the Huttenberg, up to 74 meters. So that's a big add to what we're going to be testing. And just for context, we're doing a production test, and we're testing almost 340 meters of section. That's almost 1,200 feet of hydrocarbon bearing section in 6 very discrete intervals. So we like what we see here a lot. We're super excited to get this going and see how these rocks flow.
And just so people understand, the work that's going on right now is still aiding you in what you're going to be doing when you actually start testing. Is that right?
That's correct. Yeah, all the work we're doing now is prepping the well, setting the liner, making sure the well's really smooth, and getting all the procurement on site. We've gone through our vendor selection. Schlumberger has been selected to do the surface facilities and the TCP work, which is the to be conveyed liner for the testing. And Halliburton's doing all the downhole work, shooting the guns and perforating the wellbore. So we got two really big players involved here who know what they're doing, and we're ready to get going.
All right. Well, we look forward to hearing more about that when the time is right. Moving over to Gabon, more work going on there as well. It's a lot of like let's get going type work. Is that fair to say?
It is, yeah. Well, we spent the last several months working with the government trying to get the raw seismic tapes of the 3D survey, and that was a real effort to get it done. You know, this is 15 years old tape, so it took a while to get them copied and across. We finally got all that data in Houston here just a couple of weeks ago, and we've commenced our regional 3D seismic reprocessing project just a couple of weeks ago with Doug down under geophysical work, who's an industry known expert in seismic reprocessing products. So we got that going. We'll probably have some interim products come out in the next couple of months. The reprocessing project in its entirety will be about 6 months in duration. And once we're done with that reprocessing project, we plan to have a resource report done on the concession, and particularly on the Loba field, which is the field we plan to develop. And then shortly after that, have an appraisal well selection for that field, and hopefully drilling by this time next year on that project.
Um, Brian, tell me a bit about. It sounds to me like what you've been describing here in both areas, in Namibia and in Gabon. You know, the next 6 months are so key for the company and moving forward. Is that fair to say? Am I overselling it a bit, or is that what
No,
you're
no,
thinking as
you're
well?
spot on. You're not overselling. It's listen, the production test in Kavango West is extremely important for the company, but also for the country. You know, we think we have hydrocarbons in this. We don't know exactly the phase, whether it's a gas, whether it's a wet gas or condensate. That's what the production test is designed. And if we do have that, but that'll really change the complexure of the markets in Namibia. You know, we're blessed with being onshore, so I still contend if we get some good results here, that we may be the first production the country sees.
All right. We'll look forward to hearing more about it when the time is right, Brian. Thanks so much. Good update as always, and we'll talk soon.
Thanks so much for having me.
All right. There's Brian Reinsborough, the CEO of Recon Africa.
The featured company is a paid client of Proactive Group Holdings, and this recording is disseminated by Proactive on its behalf. It is for informational purposes only and does not constitute investment advice, an offer, or a solicitation to buy or sell any securities. Viewers should conduct their own research and consult a qualified financial advisor before making investment decisions. The views expressed are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Proactive Group Holdings, trading as Proactive Investors, or its affiliates. No responsibility is accepted for any loss arising from reliance on the information presented.